Did you know that you could spend less than 20 seconds after each Salah and still have 1,500 good deeds recorded for you, written for you by Allah daily? Even if you're praying at work and you're pressed for time, you can still do this and make it a part of your life. Moving forward, sometimes we forget how truly merciful and generous Allah is, how much He rewards for seemingly small actions, things that don't take a lot of time or effort, things that, in fact, the Prophet himself described as being easy. The deed we are going to be talking about today is the remembrance of Allah, praising Him, declaring His greatness, His magnificence, declaring Him free of all imperfections. And this is probably one of the easiest ways that you'll ever find in the Sunnah to enter paradise. According to Holy Prophet, there are two qualities that actually, referring to good deeds, no Muslim is consistent in performing them, except that he will enter Jannah. The Prophet went on to say, these two acts are easy to do, but the people who adhere to them and implement them in their lives are few. So, the Prophet said that after every salat, he says Subhanallah 10 times, Alhamdulillah 10 times, Allahu Akbar 10 times. So, that's 150 times on the tongue, but 1,500 times on the scale. What does he mean? 150 times on the tongue. Well, if you say these three phrases 10 times after Salah, that's 30 times. And if you do that 5 times a day with your Salah, then that is 150 times. But on the scale with Allah, Subhanahu wa ta'ala, that is written as 1,500 good deeds. Now many of you are familiar with the other form of doing tasbih after Salah, which is to say each one of those 33 times, and that is actually better to do that. But the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam here is teaching us something easy, something that we can even do when we are pressed for time. The second action that the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam points us to, that action that is easy, but that will lead to Jannah, is he says that when you are going to bed, to say Subhanallah 33 times, Alhamdulillah 33 times, and Allahu Akbar 34 times. That is 100 times on your tongue, but 1,000 times on the scale. 1,000 good deeds are written for you. I want you to take the time to implement this in your life. Teach this to somebody else in your family. Teach it to your children. Teach it to your spouse. Because if you teach it to somebody, you're more likely to remember how rewarding these deeds are and how easy they are. We ask Allah, Subhanahu wa ta'ala, to aid us in remembering Him. We ask Him to make our scales heavy with good deeds on the Day of Judgment.